All right, so far in our triangle unit, we have talked about how a triangle has three sides, three angles, three vertices. We've spent some time talking about the triangle angle sums and how the sum of all the angles in a triangle always adds up to be 180 degrees. We've talked about our different types of angles, like acute angles are less than 90. Right angles are always exactly 90, and obtuse angles are greater than 90. And then we spent some time talking about the sides of the triangle and how if a triangle has all three sides congruent, that it's called an equilateral triangle. If a triangle has two sides that are congruent, it's a scalene triangle. Sorry, it's an isosceles triangle. And if a, let's pause, let's stop that again. Okay, and then we spent some time talking about the sides of a triangle and how if a triangle has three sides that are congruent, that is a equilateral triangle. If it has two congruent sides, that is an isosceles triangle. And if it has no congruent sides, every side is different, we call that a scalene triangle. And then we spent some time yesterday talking about the triangle inequality theorem, where the sum of the two shorter sides has to be greater than the length of the longest side. And we said that we could simplify that to say A plus B has to be greater than C. So now it's time to put our sides and our angles together. And there are two things we need to know about this. We're going to start with the sides. The longest side is always opposite of the largest angle. So L's go together, longest side, largest angle. So then the shortest side is always opposite of the smallest angle. So then our S's go together. So longest, largest, shortest, smallest. So when I look at this triangle right here, so I can see in this triangle that they didn't give me any of the side lengths. They gave me side length A, C, and B, but they specifically gave me the angle measures. So I can use this to figure out what side is the longest and what side is the shortest based on just my angle measures. So I'm going to circle the largest angle, which is this obtuse angle down here at 100 degrees. And opposite of 100 degrees is side C. So side C is the longest side. So then if I want to find the shortest side, I'm going to look for the smallest angle. So the smallest angle here is 25 degrees. And I always turn my paper to kind of help me see the opposite side a little bit better. So now that I have the smallest angle directly in front of me, now it's a little bit easier to see that side A is opposite of the smallest angle, which means that side A is the shortest side. So if I wanted you to put these in order from smallest to longest or shortest to longest, that would start with side A, and then we would have side B and side C. That would be shortest to longest. So our practice question says, which of the following could be the length of side AB for the triangle shown below? So when I look, I always start by trying to find my shortest and my longest. So they didn't give me all three sides. So then I'm going to look at my angles. So I see that I have an angle of 95 degrees, 51 degrees, 34 degrees. So I know 95 is that obtuse angle. It's the largest. And that is directly opposite of X, the one that we do not know. So I know that X has to be the longest side. Okay, so when I look down here, I know that I have sides right now of 8 feet and 11 feet, which means that X has to be longer than 8 and longer than 11, which means I right now can get rid of 10 feet because that wouldn't be longer than 11. And I can get rid of 7 feet because that wouldn't be longer than 8 or 11. So that leaves me with two options, 20 or 14. So now I have to think back to my triangle inequality theorem where we said A plus B has to be greater than C. So I know that C is my longest side, and right now I don't know what C is. So I'm going to use X to represent it. A and B are my shorter sides, so that would be 8 and 11. So I know that 8 plus 11 has to be greater than whatever that missing side is. 8 plus 11 is going to give me 19. So 19 has to be greater than x. So if I picked 20, 19 is not greater than 20. So that would actually not make a triangle. You would have two ends that never meet. But if I picked 14, 19 is greater than 14, and then 14 would still be my longest side. So our correct answer here is D, 14 feet.